Hello there, pet lovers, and welcome to our channel, The Pet Space. In today's video, we look at pets African rulers had, and of course, what it signified to them. Pets, for example, were very important to the rulers of ancient Egypt, and were considered gifts from the gods to be cared for until their death, when they were expected to be returned to the divine realm from which they had come. In Egypt, pets were well taken care of and were often mummified in the same way people were. The people of ancient Egypt kept pets ranging from domesticated dogs to cats to baboons, monkeys, fish, gazelles, birds, especially falcons, lions, mongoose, and hippos. Crocodiles were even kept as sacred animals in temples of the god Sobek. Dogs in ancient Egypt. Dogs were important to the Egyptians no matter their social status. According to historians, dogs served a role in hunting as guard and police dogs, in military actions, and household pets. The Egyptian word for dog was u'u, which referred to the dog's bark. The dog breeds of ancient Egypt were the Banziji, Greyhound, Ibizan, Pharaoh, Saluki, and Whipper. Did you know that Egyptians are credited for the invention of dog collars? As an early wall painting dated c. 3500 BCE depicts a man walking his collared dog on a leash. Dogs were extremely valued in Egypt as part of the family, and it is known that when a dog died, the family it belonged to would have the dog mummified with as much care as they would give to a human family member when they passed away. They would even shave their whole body completely, including their head and eyebrows, in grief. The same way the dogs were important to the population of ancient Egypt, it was also so with the Pharaoh of Egypt, and held a great significance to them. Cats in ancient Egypt. It would amaze you to find out that the name cat was actually of Egyptian origin and is a word derived from the North African word of the animal quata. Cats were so important to the ancient Egyptians, so much that they would literally sacrifice their country for them. In the 525 BCE, the Persian general Cambyses II invaded Egypt but was stopped by the Egyptian army of the city of Pelusium. The Persian general, knowing the venerations the Egyptians held for cats, he used it to his advantage, and then painted on his soldiers' shields images of the animals the Egyptians loved dearly, knowing very well that the Egyptians would not fight them if they had images of animals they adored. And he was right about it, because the Egyptians immediately surrendered and the country fell to the Persians. Cats were well loved by ancient Egyptians, as Herodotus later wrote that in a case where a home was going up in flame, the Egyptians would first save the cats before trying to save themselves or put out the flames. In Egypt at the time, the killing of cat, whether intentional or by mistake, was punished by death. Gazelles. A gazelle would be considered an exotic pet in present day, but as for the Egyptians, it was quite common in the ancient times, the most famous being the example of the tomb of Queen Isiemkheb of the 21 dynasty. Isiemkheb, who is sometimes known as Isiemkheb, lived under the reign of the pharaoh Pinjem II, and she loved her pet gazelle so much she ordered a specially crafted sarcophagus for it. The coffin is carved with the image of the gazelle and formed to fit its body. The mummified gazelle, which was handled with care a human would get, was found with Isiemkheb in her tomb, and the preparations of both her and her pets, as well as the amulets found still in place, would indicate the two would be united again in the field of reeds. On the other hand, baboon and monkeys were regarded as loving companions and were mummified and were buried with their devoted masters and mistresses. Baboons seem to be kept largely ritualistic purposes as symbols of Thoth and happy, but monkeys were more commonly kept as close pets. From all indications, monkeys could easily be trained, and as inscriptions show they were quite useful to their owners to retrieve their objects. The Apis bull. It should be noted that this bull was not kept as a pet, but instead it was an animal that represented the god Ptah in the early dynasty period. The Apis bull was very important to the Egyptians, so important that they were equated to the power of the king from the first dynasty and probably earlier. The Narmer palette show the bull destroying a city as a symbol of the strength and virility of the king, which is proof that the bull might be recognized widely prior to Narmer's reign. Well, from this video, you can see that animals were very important to Egyptians. Some were worshipped like the cat and the dog. Before we continue, if you are enjoying this video, please like and subscribe to our channel if you haven't done so already for more videos just like this. Feel free to leave us your thoughts in the comments section so that we know how you felt about the video. Let's get back to it, shall we? Egyptians were not the only African country where rulers had pets they cherished and adored, because other country rulers kept pet space like hyenas, lions, wild dogs, and even crocodiles. But Egypt was taken as a case study because of the fact that the importance of pets to their rulers and even the people of Egypt was quite glaring and really amazing if you come to think about it. As time flew by, the ideals of the ancient Egyptian kingdom has changed along with it. Well, thanks for watching. We look forward to having you on our next video. Click on the notification button in order not to miss any of our videos, and we'll see you next time.